Sup my Viking fellows, welcome to the another video that I bring you about the melee build. Hopefully this time I'm gonna divide this video in the two episodes. Two episodes. On the beginning of the video we're gonna focus on the PvE gear, and on the PvP version we're gonna focus on the second part of the video. So let's get to it. PvE build. PvE guild is gonna be pretty much different, only one item and the attribute for our main weapon, which is double long axe. We're gonna use the free piece of the survival set, which is gonna the most important from this set is the medicine cooldown, and where HP is below is automatically use our healing item. This is the most important part because medicine cooldown perfectly start with the first aid from the cradle. That's give us almost minus 50% the medicine cooldown. On the long axe we're using the hard attack style, heavy attacks damage plus 40%, melee stamina cost minus 25%, and we're looking for the critical damage as high as possible. We're looking around like literally as high as possible, because the more crit we're doing, the more damage we doing output. On the second set, we're using the blast set. We're using heavy melee damage by extra 20%, torso damage reduction. Not that important, but the third part is the most important part. It's after killing enemy with a melee attack, 25% for the next melee attack with 5 seconds, and melee speed is plus 15. This is perfectly working on this build. If it's coming to the mods, we're using the pretty much on the helmet we're gonna use the Faithful Strike, which is give us critical damage and damage any damage to the elites. This mod is actually PvP. I'm looking for the PvE versions, so that means we're gonna have more damage to the elite enemies. Normals, it's not that important. Good to have it, but not that important. Basically on the glasses, masks, whatever, on the mask, on the facial item, we're using our life force boost to extra 12% of the our HP. We're looking at the weapon damage reduction, damage to the elites for the PvE content. If you're looking for the PvP, of course, anything that related to the damage reduction on PvE. On the chest piece, we're using the head-on conflict, the violent versions. That means the violent version is going to be the critical damage. We have weapon damage reduction and critical damage we're using on the PvP. Damage to great ones, damage to normal ones, always good to clear the trash. On the gloves we're using the melee amplifier, perfect mod for the pretty much both contents. We have a great to ones, elite, weapon damage reduction, and the melee damage 8%. So this item by itself gives about 28% of weapon melee damage, which is absolutely crazy. On the boots, we're gonna use the life force boost, HP plus 12%, and pretty much the same pattern. Weapon damage reduction for PvP, damage to elite, pretty much it's damage to elite enemies and so on. The downside of the life force boost, like as a mod, is extremely rare. I only drop 3 times, and I'm farming every day almost for 4 to 5 hours, and wasn't lucky enough to have the third one. My third drop, to show you guys, is all gray, so I don't even thinking about like getting to the some sort of, I would say, even roll. It's absolutely terrible. it's terrible. It was super unlucky though, but yeah. And the last piece is going to be on the pants. We're looking for the melee momentum. Melee damage is plus 20%, which is super. And the crucial part is after melee kill, recover 30% of our stamina. How does it work? So that means if we kill any NPC, anything, it's going to recover 30% our stamina. And I'm going to show you guys how to increase your stamina to have almost 2 rolls of the pretty much the stamina thing, and you have like 2 circles. So pretty much infinite stamina. Like you cannot run out the stamina in this build, pretty much. Attributes we're looking, of course, is the damage to elites, melee damage plus 8%, status damage reduction or weapon damage reduction. Preferably for PvP, it's going to be weapon damage reduction. Status is good to have it. It's a little bit mixture. See what works for you, see what's not. In my opinion, you have to stack 1 or 2. Unfortunately, so far I wasn't lucky enough. For the main weapon, for the backup weapon, I would say even, we're using the recovery bow for the reason that our weapon features gives us the 30% of the critical rate of 15 seconds. and our long axe give us the critical rate by 10% and stacking 5 times. So this is actually like 50% from here and 30% from here, plus our main stats. We're running pretty much like, look, so 10%, 30%, 40%, 50%, right? So this is like 80%, 90. So we get running around crit rate around 90%, and the critical damage should be around it should be here actually like a 97%, but it's always like a bit laggy. There we go, that's what I thought. 100, like, yeah, 180. So 50% to 180. Now, how we do with this one? So, food. Let me show you guys what I figure out. You can use kind of like a 2 main food without like a risking of the having like a potion drink and stuff. So, okay, so the foods, we're gonna use the 2 foods. First one is gonna be Stardust Mushroom Soups. That's basically gives us a max stamina 20% and stamina recovery by 30%. So craft one of those. The second food we're gonna use is our like the HP boost, but we're using actually the we're using the canned lunch meat, and we're using the rabbit meat that give us maximum step of 40. And as a drink, so to show you guys how this works. So the way you can use your food is like this. So take a look. I'm gonna put this one over here, right? You guys gonna see it. So the first thing we're using is our the rabbit lunch meat. Let me just move for this radio a little bit, guys. So okay, cool. So first thing we're gonna use our lunch meat, right? Then you see this is almost this one. Then we're gonna use our soup. See that? We just 2 range, and then after that we use our like the drink, so we not get like the stamina. So right now we literally running on the super high stamina range for PvE. It's absolutely unbelievable that you have like a 2 of them. And look at the fastest actually regenerating. So if I this one, look how fast it's regenerating though. 1, 2, right? So this is our PvE food. So once again, mushroom soup, canned lunch meat, and there's the corn ale basically to mitigate sanity, so we don't have like the black damage debuff. This is literally like the one of the coolest thing I discovered in this game. So you have like a double food, and you can literally run with the 2 circles of the stamina. So this is pretty much it. If it's coming to the PvE build, I'm going to show you a couple of clips how to play PvE builds, and that's pretty much it. The most important part as always is the movement. Remember I told you guys about the deviant we're using, right? So let's mark it as well to the CRADLEs. We're about to show the CRADLEs, right? CRADLE, whatever. So we're using obviously melee enhancement, damage plus 20%. Sprint, movement speed plus 5, running speed coming, running stamina cost minus 15. Rapid 8, that's minus 30%, and increase healing effect by 15. Plus remember for survival set we got extra 20%, so that means we're running around minus 50% is coming to the medkits. Agility, after rolling damage reduction minus 15 for 4 seconds. Deviation master, having a fire alongside grants damage plus 20% against deviants. Rod boost, damage from humans, this is PvP. Perk long range enhancement, and this one is pretty much for the crossbow. Now, to give you perspective how the Deviant Master perk works, look, if I'm gonna hit it, this one is 34k, right? 34k with a nice crit. Now, Deviant, 44,000. Around 20,000 damage itself though, right? And look how many attacks I can do. Of course the Deviant as well doing the damage. And this is how our stamina run. So we're doing like in such a short term, we're doing like so much damage though. We can literally go to like a 1 million, to be honest, like easily though. And this is the Deviant basically run away, right? So we're doing damage between 35,000 to 45,000. Of course, the higher your crit is, the basically better, right? And this is pretty much how the Viking build should play in the PvE content. The downside of this build, which you have to like mention as well for your chat, is the fact that we cannot fight a few bosses. The first boss is gonna be, of course, the Forsaken Monolith, so that's gonna be a Forsaken Giant. This is impossible to do with the... it's impossible to do this content without the melee build. Unfortunately, you have to ask to someone to carry you over there. And it's quite difficult. It's not impossible, it's quite difficult to the Lea Research Lab by solo, but if you fight with a team, it's pretty much like you can tank pretty much all the stuff in the game, right? So those two contents. Anything else, it's extremely easy to do. Even there is like a flying NPC, what you guys need to do, grab your trusty crossbow and just shoot this thing down. You're doing quite a bit damage, so there is should be no problem. Like between 10 to 11,000 damage you're doing on onto the crossbow thing, so it's always a solution. But most of the NPCs are ground stated, and yeah. Now guys, I'm gonna bring you guys the PvP version of that build, so let's go do it. Alright, so first thing first, we changed only 2 items. It's super easy to change the items. You don't have to even look at the mods, because the game devs decided to bring you more basically. So how does it work? The first item we adding is basically a mask. After using activator, movement speed 20%, all damage plus 20, and cloak for 2 seconds, and damage reduction for torso and limbs for 20 seconds, right? The second thing we're gonna change, which we're gonna change our attribute on our long axe, is gonna be for the light striker for the 12.5% movement speed. And now remember, this is 12.5, and the crucial part as well, our body type have to be as well the underweight. So we have to be underweight to get you guys melee attack speed by 50% and maximum stamina by 25. That's the one thing. And this one works perfectly with the cradle over here, which is movement 5%, right? So we're moving 17% faster right now, right? So the only food we're gonna change right now is actually this one, Stardust Ratatouille. That's give us extra 20% movement speed, increase and reduces stamina consumption when sprinting. So to give you perspective, this is like when you're running like a normally. Right? Now I'm gonna use the food. Boom. Get a little bit of stamina, but this one, and now we can move like this. When we start to jumping around, it's very hard to hit our head, and we're extremely mobile, and we don't lose a lot of stamina with even running though. Now the best part, when we're starting to doing our PvP attacks, for example, let's imagine let's imagine this is the guy that's basically sniping at us or shooting us. Look, from that line we can jump almost there. We got like a proper menu. See what I mean? So basically the range, like I'm gonna move this mannequin a little bit closer to be honest to show you guys. It's almost something should be like this. I can jump from here and do the jump attack from here. You see that? This is like 2 blocks, almost 3 blocks of the jump. Once again, I'm gonna show you guys how to shorten the distance to someone. 2 shots, 50k. That basically means that we're gonna do around, should we do like a 2-tap that person, because the most of the people focusing onto the crit damage and DPS rather than survivability, so that should be counting as a 2-hit. One more time from here. Yeah, right? This is insane distance. Look at the distance. 3 blocks. Because how far are we gonna do this jump? This, because it's like a movement. Game is basically based on the momentum. So the faster we're moving, the longer the attack's gonna last basically. Because if I'm gonna, for example, do the jump from here, and for example, you see, I'm losing the momentum. Like it's not that fast anymore. It's really not that fast anymore. We still can do it, but it's not fast. It's not that far. So this build is basically to harass or be very, very aggressive towards the melee any other players that playing sniper, the bomber, or any like shrapnel build. Shrapnel build is not that like doing pretty much a lot of damage to us, to be honest, because we have a lot of survivability. Now, how are we gonna reach our defensive numbers. So right now we're doing the weapon damage reduction 20% and this one and the torso. Now I'm gonna show you something like this. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna roll and then use the medkit. So for example, medkit and roll. And now if I'm gonna go for the stats, we're running around, this is our damage reduction. So we got 15% damage reduction overall, weapon damage reduction 16. That should be actually, sorry, if I'm gonna grab this weapon, it's gonna be even higher though, because we're missing like a 4% over here. So hold up, one more time, I'm gonna do it for you. Medkit or whatever, just roll. And on the gear we should have right now, this is our true stats. So we got damage reduction 15%, weapon damage reduction 20%, damage reduction when deviate status, so basically when using the status, torso damage reduction 32%, and lip reduction 20%. So with someone hitting our arms, our torso, everything, this is on top of this stats. This is the most important part. HP, cool, but this is minus the base damage. Someone hit you for 1000 damage. Let's imagine, let someone hit them with 1000 damage. That base after all is already reduced by 15%. So that means the guy is hitting us only how much? 850. The weapon damage reduction, that's another 20% reduction. So that means he's hitting us now around, I would say, 650. If hitting torso or limb or whatever after the medkit, he hit is only for 400 to 500. We can survive a lot. The best part about this, like a PvP version of that build, is that after the heal, we're receiving, this is basically when HP is low, when below 30%, so basically on critical, we're using our medkit from the backpack without our even noticing, right? So that means like it's not only have to do 13,000 damage to kill us, but we have to do as well 60% of that on top of this. So we're rocking around 20,000, 21,000 HP on the good wins. Now, the second item, healing item we're gonna use is our status regulator. This thing saved my ass so many times that you cannot even believe. So we're using the quick activator for the normal healing as a normal regular medkit, and this is gonna be recover 70% of our maximum HP and gives a shield equal to 30%. So basically gaining 100% of our HP once per 30 seconds, and we can spam it. So we can literally speaking, we can get 40,000 plus 70% of HP recovering, plus 30% shield, and on top of that 60% recovery, and every healing is boosted for the cradle. From this rapid 8, 15%. So we recovering a lot of HP, we're very tanky, we're very nimble, we're very fast. And the best part, you can even, because our PSI is pretty high, I would say, of course it always can be more and better, but you can use even the PvP, like the portable turrets that's gonna do your range damage if you really want. Possibly it's a little bit cheeky, but 3 of the turrets can literally melt any player at this stage, right? But because we stack so many of the like defense stats, we can clearly survive a lot of encounters. And as well on the previous videos, as you see, on the defensive, of attacking, or pretty much a lot of PvP content I showed like the last in the videos, you can have so much fun and enjoy, guys. So this is pretty much it. This is how I rock. This is how I feel like this is the final version of that build. I don't think maybe it's gonna be a new mods that's gonna allow us to have a way better like a mods or something, or figure out maybe I can find a better mods overall. But yeah, and one more thing, guys, I would love to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the views I received yesterday on my videos, on my builds, a lot of comments. Thank you much for the feedback. I hope for the one guy, wink to you brother, that said to slow down. I try to slow down and try to like not to be too hasty at video, take my time to do it. And guys, I'm super grateful for all the subs, all the likes, all the comments on the videos. That means a lot for me. I'm just starting my adventure with the YouTube. I'll try to be a little bit more consistent videos, try to do maybe 1 or 2 videos per week. And yeah, guys, thank you very much. It was a pleasure as well to you guys to make a video, and see you guys in the next chapter. Salute!